think like 100 bob or 150, like that cheap. At 8 in the morning. I'm like, oh, I think this is the time someone proposes. Oh, and guess what? That was it. He never proposed. Like, I don't know, the ring kneeling down, or so he was like, okay. How can you be there without money? And why do you have this small phone? Hi guys, welcome to my channel again. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well, because I'm doing very fine. Back in the studio. Yes, it's been a long day, but I'm here. I am here. Now, you guys, I'm so tired you cannot even imagine. And I just want to do this because I'm going to have a long week ahead. And I have to record today. If I don't, I'll not be able to post anything this week. But I'm here and I'll make sure I record enough for this entire week. So how are you? Yes, I'm fine. Very fine. Grateful. So I've been thinking, growing up, my sisters, you've all heard my story. I grew up closer to my sisters than my parents. So growing up, my sister used to tell me that, oh, you need to keep yourself for your future husband. You need to keep your virginity on until you get married. Now, my question is today, is the culture of telling ladies, not ladies, yes, ladies or girls, is that culture of keeping her virginity still a thing in this .com, in this Gen Z's world, in this social media world? Is the virginity culture still being taught at home? Let's talk about it, because people out here are all over, and I don't know if these people understand the advantage of keeping yourself until you get married, like abstaining, like keeping your virginity until you get married. Like, let's talk about it, because I'm so confused. So recently, a friend of mine, I don't want to mention the name, a friend of mine, for her, it's a serious topic in their home. When it comes to her daughters, they know keeping their virginity, it's a must. A must. That made me wonder, like, apart from her that I know of, how about other parents? Are we teaching our children to keep their virginity on? Or we just let the world, take them or use them anyhow? Because long time it used to be a big deal. Right now, I don't know. I'm so confused about today, because this social media is changing everything. It is spoiling kids. It's spoiling people. So I doubt if people are still considering it a big deal, if people still believe in it, if people are still even talking about it, So that's why I'm here. We talk about it, because I believe, now that I'm a mother of 2 beautiful daughters, I believe that has to be a culture in this family. And I have to make sure, to the best of my knowledge, that, I keep these kids, these daughters, kept well until they get married. Yes. Yeah, some people don't believe in marriage, which is okay. But it doesn't mean that, you should not talk to your children about it. It's in their advantage if they keep it, safe. They seal the package until, when they are big enough, when they are mature enough, when they are in that stage of getting married, when they are married. Also, it doesn't hurt. Because I remember my sister used to tell me, it is very important when you get married and your husband opens the gift and finds, everything is still there. It's very important the husband to know that, he's the first person. It's very important for a lady to keep yourself. Okay, You guys, let's look at it in a different way. Let's not keep look at it in a form of like, husband, because hey, when it comes to husbands, even them, they don't keep their goats on. How about the girls? But now in this case, I want us to talk about it in a way that if you keep your virginity on, it is saving you a lot of problems, that you don't need to worry about, you don't need to, deal with when you're still young. So abstaining, in my understanding, it's still very, very important. You guys, there are a lot of diseases out here, and people are so mean. Someone will know that they are carrying a disease, and they will not let you know. They will tell you, did I call it to come? Even me, whoever infected me never told me. So people are so mean, people are so careless, people are so evil, that if you choose to abstain, you're saving yourself from such problems, diseases, pregnancies. You people, I noticed a lot of young kids have they've given birth, like their mothers. There's a lot of young mothers in this world, and not abstaining is the reason. When a child is exposed to sex, and nowadays parents are so like, how can I call it, like they don't care anymore like how people used to care a long time. Like right now, kids get information from the social media, and then parents, we don't take a chance to sit down and talk, call a spoon to these kids, because even if you don't, they are going to get the information from other people or on social media, and most of the times they will not get the right information. They don't get the right information. So let's assume they've gotten the information. But again, as a parent, it's your responsibility to make sure that, whatever they know, you add on or you correct them, but at least let them get information from the person they trust. Because when it comes to our bodies as female, there's a lot we don't know. But when you get someone who is older than you and tell you what is happening, you learn better. You trust the information. You get to know what your friend wouldn't have told you. Maybe they don't even know. They just saw something and they don't know. That's why most kids end up getting pregnant, because they see it in the movies. They feel like it's all about, getting together, and that is it. Nothing happens after that. Like, or maybe this. And like, it scares me. I'm not like going to prepare my kids to abstain for the sake of the future husband. That will be like reason number 3. But reason number 1 is to make sure they have good health, to make sure they don't experience those abortion, those diseases, those, like, they, in high school, I remember, now you guys, I'll tell you this. So in high school, I remember I dated this guy. Okay, let me say he was my first love. Like when you're in high school, you date, like, calling each other boyfriend, girlfriend, you write letters. That is the love language I knew. That is the love I knew. Writing letters. I was stubborn. I knew things, but again, where I came from, my sister used to tell me things, like real things. So I knew what was right and what was wrong. So I knew whatever I was doing, there's no doing it. I don't want to use the word, the big word, the sex, because some people feel like you cannot say that. Okay, I'll not use it today. So I used to know everything. I used to know if if you sleep with someone, you can get AIDS, you can get diseases. I used to know all of that. But now I dated this guy, in a relationship, the kids' relationship, the high school relationship. And I remember this guy, one time he told me that he wants nyam nyam. And I told him, I can't, I'm still young, I don't want to do this. And first of all, people used to judge me a lot. Everyone used to think like I'm this wild kid, but I had a lot of discipline in my head. I had a lot of principles. I knew what I was supposed to do and what I was not supposed to do. So This guy, anyway, to summarize the story, this guy chucked me because I refused to do something with him. And he went on, dated another person who was in his class. And I remember crying, asking myself, because, he was like my first boyfriend. And I remember crying, asking myself, like, did I do a good thing? And I didn't have anyone to talk about it. Like, I didn't have that person I can go and talk and open up and tell them, you know what, I like this guy so much, but now he's mover. He's going because I refuse to sleep with him. And he was older than me. He was older than me. But again, I remember struggling with my feelings, thinking, maybe. But if I had someone to talk to, if I had someone that time to tell me, like, it's okay, it's so normal. Remember, he was my first boyfriend. So if I had someone tell me that is so normal, I think I wouldn't have felt so bad, because I felt really, really bad being refused, like someone refusing me just because I've, not just because, but refusing me because I've refused to sleep with them. I didn't know that, someone can just play around with your mind like that. I didn't know that. Of course, I had I knew a lot of things, but again, I was a kid. So I needed someone to guide me more. So my point today is, I think the culture of teaching girls to keep their virginity on, to abstain, should keep on moving. We should encourage it more, so that we see how we can reduce young mothers, pregnancies, diseases in young kids, in young girls. Like, I think it's a culture that we should not forget or throw away, because it is still important. Besides having that, your husband will be so happy to, to know that he's the first. I don't want to even focus on that, because that is a different story. But at least it will save our girls a lot of problems. You go in the village, you find a 16-year-old, she's a mother. You find, I don't know, a 20-year-old, instead of being in school, she's a mother, she's a wife at that age. Because nowadays, most people don't marry. Okay, they marry because of love, but most of them marry because, oh, she's pregnant now, I have to take care of the baby. But in real sense, if she didn't get pregnant, this person would have been like in school or doing other things, developing, and, pregnancy, babies, when you're not ready, when it's not the right time, there's a way it always brings someone down, more especially the mothers, the ladies. There's a way it brings women down. Like, you have to lose like 2-3 years trying to take care of the baby, and by the time you come back, the world has already moved on. Catching up becomes so hard, so hard. So, mothers, can we keep this culture going? Can we keep on telling our children to abstain? Not only our children, all the girls, to abstain. Can we keep on like teaching them the advantages of abstaining, the advantages of keeping your virginity on? I think it's that culture that we should not lose in this .com, in this Gen Z's, in this social media. Like, it's a culture that I think it can help us a lot, at least in to make sure that, some kids are not like lost in this situation of, like, seeing thing, and, they call it monkey see, monkey do, monkey see, monkey do, something like that. So, you guys, I wanted to come out and we talk about this thing of virginity, abstaining. I think it's not too late for us to still keep this culture, and, to save, like, so many kids are mothers at 18, at 15, at 14. And it's so sad. Like, that is a whole future that is being destroyed in this, and even men out there, men, like, honestly, you find a grown-up man with a young. I know there are situations, maybe this girl needs the money. I know all of that. But again, at least the best you can do, use a CD. Protect that person at least. I'm not like encouraging this part, but at least, you know, we need to have that love of the young generation whereby, you know, even if you're doing something with this person, at least have the care of protecting them from diseases, from the pregnancies. Like you people, if I remember that we used to even have these clubs, and we used to have like, again, I don't know, games at school where we used to say abstaining is, I don't know, better than what, you know, like we used to have drama and play and drama something at school, teaching kids how to, why they should abstain. Nowadays, I don't think that thing happens anymore. Nowadays, it's like people moved on. They don't fear AIDS. They don't fear pregnancies. They don't fear, like they fear nothing. That is so scary. That is so bad for this generation. I think our generation is the last generation to enjoy the real culture, and it's the last generation that, you know, used to have a one-on-one with parents, with guardians, without social media thing. Right now, it's a mess, a mess. I hope and I pray that one day, when my kids are ready, I'll be strong enough, not even strong enough, like I'll teach them and they get something out of it. Because these kids nowadays, you tell them this, they do the other thing. You tell them this, they do that thing. Like, it's just a mess. But anyway, you guys, tell me what you think. How far is this culture? Like, have we already dropped it? Oh, it's something that is still going. I've not heard about it lately. All I hear is AIDS, 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 that, this, you know, pregnancies, pregnancies. But no one is talking about abstaining, teaching kids, girls abstaining, even the boys. Because even a boy can get diseases from sleeping around. Even nowadays, boys are getting involved with with older women. So it's both sides, either girl or a boy. Abstaining should come back, should be a big deal, should be all over, should be taught everywhere, in church, in schools, everywhere. You guys, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and tell us your story. That is my story, and I'm requesting you to tell us if if you're a mother and you have kids, grown-up kids. Have you had this conversation with them? Like, tell us something. Let us share. Let us share this good information. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.